Good afternoon, everyone. Today, our group examines obsessions in Pushkin's The Queen of the Space and Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. While both features destructive desires, our central point is that these obsessions mirror the wider social tensions and moral uncertainty of 19th century's Russia, rather than being personal flaws alone. Drawing on historical study of Russian culture, I will outline the social environment that shaped Herman and Raskolnikov, then explain what their obsessions reveal about shifting class values. Russian realist writers often use extreme characters to expose broader ideological crises, and both figures reflect these pressures. So, 19th century Russia faced the legacy of serfdom, sharp class divisions, and debates over Western influence. Meanwhile, new financial practice, gambling culture, and an increasingly modern urban life reshaped how people imagine status and mobility. So, for the first one, the Queen of Space, Herman is a respectable but financially limited outsider. His fascination with aristocratic gambling circles reflect his desire to break into a class that excludes him. The legend of the three cars becomes both a shortcut to wealth and a symbolic escape from social limits. Where Herman confronts the old contents for the secret, a social fantasy transforms into perceived obsession. This moment shows how a desire for status can push an individual toward self-destructive behavior. And for the second one, crime and punishment, Raskolnikov lives in a street Petersburg marked by poverty and lack of opportunity. His extraordinary man theory grows from humiliation and blocked mobility. Dostoevsky's portrayal of the city highlights radical ideas and collapsing moral authority. Raskolnikov's belief that he may cross moral boundaries for a higher purpose shows the psychological impact of living in society struggling to redefine ethical limits. And so both novels translate social structures, class, money, and ideology into personal obsession. Herman's and Raskolnikov's fixation reveal how societal pressures can drive individuals toward crime and or collapse. This leads to the next part of our presentation, how these socially rooted obsessions unfold psychologically within each character. And that's the next part.
So I will now look closely at how the mind works when it has a strong fixed feeling. In Herman and Raskolnikov, my goal is to explore their inner lives. Simply put, we will see how does the fixed idea start, how do they find a reason for it, and how does it finally lead to their mind breaking down. Next page, please. In Pushkin's story, Herman starts as a careful man. He is proud of his strong will. Having never touched a card, he works hard and saves his money. But after hearing the secret of the three cards, he sees gambling as a math problem he can solve. He believes that by getting the right numbers, he won't be gambling at all. He will be doing a perfect math plan. This is the first sign of his mind changing. In his mind, this is a classic case of twisted thinking. He's trying to force luck to obey his rules. As scholar notes, people with fixed ideas are often pushed by an inner voice that say he will be in charge of what happens in the future and luck. Herman's constant inner talks, checking chance and daydreaming about results show this voice. Modern strong need research confirms that seeking a system or logic in gambling often creates a false idea of control, which makes the need much more stronger. His own logic turns against him. Next page, please. Once Herman pushes his way into the conference room, his fixed idea is stronger than all care for order and carefulness. He demands the secret, turning a social fantasy into a violent action. Then, after her death, his mind breaks fully. He has a false image at the card table. He sees the Queen of Spades looking down at him. This is the final breaking of his idea of himself as smart and sane. His ability to tell a false image from real life is gone. He ends up in a crazy state. Next page, please. Raskolnikov's fixed idea is not the same. Crime and punishment is built around a theory that starts as coldly smart, but is meant to slowly fall apart. His extraordinary man theory that a few people can ignore moral laws was not just a happen by chance idea. It was a direct answer to being poor, feeling shame, and the intense, smart argument of this time. In his mind, he used this theory as a way to protect himself against feeling weak and powerless. It let him change the meaning of violent crime to simply a test to prove he's better than others. The theory is a defense until he took the axe. Next page, please. However, the moment he kills the pawnbroker and her sister, his mind stopped working right. His supposedly rational plan fails instantly. He suffers from high temperature and fever. He feels things too easily and keeps seeing the crime again and again. This problem looks like modern ways to talk about severe shock after a bad event, and cannot stop thinking the same thing. His tie with others also have trouble. He pushes away his mother and sister, yet at the same time holds onto Sonia. Sonia's presence both shows his gravity and offers a path to thin story. Dostoevsky's higher realism pushes this big problem inside his mind to the hardest point, which creates a very hard feeling in Raskolnikov's inner thoughts. Next page, please. We can now clearly answer the question about the mind of this part. Herman. His fixed idea with the gambling plan changes his carefulness into a false belief, ending in going completely crazy. His mind is ruined. Raskolnikov, his fixed idea based on a deep belief, raises his clear mind and wrecks all his close friendships. His only path out is telling the truth, leading to a slow, moral getting better. The main point is that both men's rational system failing to control the human mind. This past since go introduce deeper question about right and wrong, about feeling bad about the wrong thing, being held accountable, and chance of being saved, which next group member will now explore. Next page, please.
So far, we have seen how society creates pressure and how that pressure turns into storm. Unhealthy shows in this part. I will talk about what these shows mean for lots philosopher. Philosopher. I will look at ethical questions they raise about guilt, responsibility, and whether people can be forgiven or changed for the better. On next page. Skyline's book says Dostoevsky's stories think about free will, responsibility, and the fight between good and bad in a person, in crime and punishment. Raskolnikov makes a plan to escape normal moral duty. He says ordinary people follow rules and extraordinary people can break them. But the story shows this is false. When he says the killing will resemble his mind and body still tell him he is guilty. The Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy says Dostoevsky's character shows people cannot escape guilt. Raskolnikov wants to know if someone can live after breaking moral rules, and the story says he cannot. Next page. In the Queen of Space, Herman is very different from Raskolnikov. He never says he is guilty and never faces his crime. His obsessions does not bring regrets. It makes him lose his mind. Well, Raskolnikov slowly accepts his guilt. Herman falls into madness and keeps seeing the card numbers. Herman does not change at all. His punishment is not new moral life, but a broken man. He thinks only about himself and never faced his own actions. In the end, he shows what happens when a person's obsessions obsessions has no repentance or responsibility. Next page. The different endings are very important. Raskolnikov goes to a person, but the end of the book shows he can still change. With Sylvia's care and his own slow change of heart, he starts to feel hope again. Scanlan says this means Dostoevsky believes people can become better when they accept their pain instead of running from it. The Cambridge competition to Dostoevsky also says that for Dostoevsky, even a very bad thing can become the start of a new life. Next page. Grison's book says Russian writers in the 1800s used hard moral problems to ask how much freedom people have and if they can get forgiveness. Putting Herman and Raskolnikov together shows two paths. A person can ruin himself through obsessions, or he can slowly return to moral duty. This idea helped answer my earlier questions about guilt, responsibility, and redemption. Their obsessions, like the writers, ask if a person can be more than his fires and fix shots. To finish, Speaker 4 will talk about story style and the wider meaning of obsession in these works. Okay.
To bring our strengths together, I will focus on form, how Pushkin and Dostoevsky used narrative style to make us experience obsession from the inside, and how their characters' physician reflect a more universal moral struggle rather than just a Russian problem. Next page. Pushkin's style in the Queen of Space is very short, clear, and a bit distant. The narrator does not show strong emotion, which actually make Herman's obsession look even more strange and extreme. Pushkin give us only a few key moments. Uh, the Countess story, the letter, and the night visit. He does not spend much time inside Herman's mind. Because of this, the story moves fast, almost like fate in is pushing Herman forward. It feels as if his ending is already decided, and he cannot stop it. Next page. Uh, Dostoevsky works in a very different way. The in Crime and Punishment, he brings us deeply into Raskolnikov's thoughts. The narration often follow his worries, fears, and confusion from moment to moment. This style makes us feel his inner conflict very directly. instead of standing far away. We experience the pressure and the chaos inside his mind. Well, Pushkin give us a clear and simple view from the outside, and Dostoevsky give us a close and intense view from the inside. Next page. Even though this story come from 19th century Russia, the idea still feel modern. Herman believes he can control chance, which is similar to how people today trust the data or perfect the system too much. Raskolnikov believes that a good goal can excuse a harmful action. We still ask a similar moral question today. In both stories, obsession being when an idea becomes stronger than empathy or responsibility. That is why this character feel familiar to us. They show how people can lose themselves when they follow an idea too far. Next page. To close, let me draw together our individual contribution. Jia show that this obsession arises from real historical and social pressures. And Yao Yang explained how physician reshapes Herman's and Raskolnikov's inner lives. And Zhe Chen analyzed the ethical stakes, guilt and responsibility, and the different paths of redemption and ruin. And my section has argued that different narrative styles, pushing ironic brevity and Dostoevsky immersive interiority, not only decept obsession, but also invite us to consider its universality. Herman and Raskolnikov belong to their time, but their struggle with desire, self-justification and the moral limit remain disturbingly recognizable. Next page. Taken together, then our presentation stressed that in the Queen of Space and Crime and Punishment, addiction and obsession function as bridge between the inner life and the outer world. They show how historical pressure and philosophical ideas become incarnated in individual facts, and how literature can transform those primitive physicians into critique of an entire moral order. That's it. And thanks for watching.